Welcome back to another episode of Fate Kaleid liner Prisma Illya. So in the previous episode, the story fully picked up and kicked into 5th gear because we found out, so Rin and Luvia, they ended up, or they were promised by the Grandmaster of the Clock Tower that they were going to become his disciples if they are able to complete this mission of collecting the cards in 2 weeks, right? And they got these 2 Mystic Codes, which you guys did clarify that Mystic Codes in the Fate universe are basically just items with a bunch of magical energy in them, right? But I did look it up because I heard that and I was like, wait, is the Holy Grail a Mystic Code then? But no, the Holy Grail is not considered a Mystic Code because it's a bit too broad, I think, of an item, they said. I think Mystic Code is supposed to be used for with a very specific intention. Anyways, that doesn't matter. So they got these 2 Mystic Codes, Ruby and Sapphire, which turn people basically into magical girls, kind of. So one of them was given to Illya, who now is kind of together with Rin hunting down these cards, and the other one, Sapphire, was given to this other girl that showed up at the end of the episode. We don't know who she is. We saw her having the Lancer card, right? And I believe Rin had the Archer card at the beginning, so I'm pretty sure that Illya probably also has it. And we got the Rider card. Or at least, or maybe Rin still has that card, but either way, we got the Rider card, which was Medusa, which showed up in the previous episode as well. And she was kind of used as training for Illya. I feel bad for Medusa. I feel like she always gets the short end of the stick, in these, in all of Fate, basically. In all of Fate. So I feel bad for her, but yeah, she got used as target practice and just training for Illya. And yeah, she got defeated and we got the card, the Rider card. So we don't know what exactly is happening with the girl at the end. We saw her using the Gay Bolg, right? Which was really cool. So finally, Gay Bolg actually hit something, guys. Who would have thought, Gay Bolg actually hitting something and actually doing lethal damage? Wow, that's impressive. But anyways, let's see where they're gonna take the story from here on out, and who this new mysterious character is. So if you wanna watch this, Uncut and Unblurred, as always, on Patreon down in the description. And let's go into Fate Kaleid liner Prisma Illya episode 3. Yeah. Okay. Girl meets girl. That's a title. The female laugh. God, I love Luvia. You survived. Miyu. Okay, Miyu. Damn. Poor Illya. She's just caught up in this situation. Did you hear the punching sounds in the back? Oh, okay. Mirror wall seems to be closing. Okay. Ooh. These 2. Oh, well. Going back to the 3D world. I mean, to be fair, like, they're not competing like for anything, right? I'm pretty sure, didn't the Grandmaster say, if you two collect the cards I'll take in like 2 weeks, I'll take you on, both of you, as on as disciples, right? So it's not like only one of them is going to be taken on as disciples from what we know. So they could just work together. It doesn't matter who gets the cards, as long as they present the cards to the Grandmasters, right? To the Grandmaster at the end of the time period. So I'm pretty sure there's absolutely zero reason for them to be actually arrive or like competing for the cards, as long as they get all of them, right? At least from what we know so far. So she didn't choose that, okay. Yeah, it was the same thing. Miyu. We don't know how many there are yet. Is it just gonna be 7, or is it gonna be more than that? I'm guessing it's gonna be the 7 base classes as well. That's it. Oh, yes! The Chancellor student trope. It's, of course, Miyu. Of course, it's Miyu. Edelfeld. Finland. Edelfeld. I'm trying to think if it rings any bells or not, but I don't think it does. Edelfeld. Of course. Back row next to the window. The classic one. Transfer student who sits... Is she the main character then? Oh, it's about to be chaos. I love Fujimura. It's too much for her. That's what I'm saying. Sapphire. Nesan. Oh. I see. Yeah, let's see it. Will she do I am the bone of my sword? I would kill to see Illya do the chant. Since she has the archer one, you know? As far as I remember. 7. Yeah. It's the same thing in ReZero. Oh! Wait, I feel like it's been a while since they mentioned odd or odd, right? I feel like I remember it being mentioned in Zero, but I don't remember if it was ever mentioned apart from Zero. I think usually they just say mana, right? Odd. Yeah, I remember it being mentioned though in Zero when they were talking about Avalon, right? They mentioned something to do with odd, right? Or odd. Yeah. Okay. I completely forgot that this is a concept here in Fate. Okay. Okay. Seven classes, 7 distortions, yes. 3. Yeah, archer, yeah. Throne of Heroes, yes. Ooh, wait. Let me see something again. This is interesting. Quite a few of them apparently don't even exist. Those stories of them are told in myths and legends. Okay, so in this universe, because in the Fate universe, or I should say in the other Fate universes that we've seen, they did actually exist in the Age of Gods, right? Apart from like maybe a few of them, like Sasaki Kojiro is an exception. He didn't exist, but people like Heracles existed during the Age of Gods. People like Arturia, and all of the ones that are actually in the real world are just myths and legends. In the Fate universe, they actually existed during the Age of Gods, but in the Illya universe, a lot of them didn't exist. Interesting. That's a big difference there. Okay. Interesting. Archer. That's sick! Okay, sorry, I'm pausing a lot, but the Throne of Heroes is always like such an interesting topic, even though we've been debating the Throne of Heroes a lot in my FGO streams. It's a very dodgy topic because it's not very well defined. But we know that the Throne of Heroes is kind of like a database of sorts, right? Where all of the heroic spirits get stored. And so this is basically an access to the database and just pulls out the noble phantasm from the database of the hero, right? From the Throne of Heroes. That's sick. That's so cool. It just pulls out the information about the noble phantasm and puts it into the card. That's badass. I really like that. Here she is. Speak of the devil. Get ignored. Yeah. Seems quite like a kudere type of character. Illya. Oh. Ooh. You know what she's giving me? She's giving me Homura vibes from Madoka Magica. Yep. Are those integrals? Wow, she's doing integration. She is Homura. BL. You can't blame her. It's Pride Month. Picasso? Oh, she's actually Picasso. Also, wait. Aww. Yeah, also, I like how they actually did integrals there, because integrals are actually used, you know, to get an area of or a volume of an object, right? So that is actually pretty accurate, but I like how they use that. And she was like, yeah, just doing integration in middle school, you know? uh, 、Yeah, surely she's not superhuman in PE. They're not swimming. Why are you still in your swimsuit? Oh, she's funny. She's really, really funny. She's pulling ahead. Expected. 6 seconds? Nah. 'It's genuinely unnerving how similar this is to Homura, you know, from Madoka. It's basically identical. Which makes me worried. Hmm. Yeah. I respect that answer. That would be me. Yeah, it's exciting. It's fun. It seems fun, at least. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Damn, that's harsh. I mean, no one really explained it to Ilya. Like, the way that they explained it was kind of like a game, so you can't blame her for thinking that way. Yeah, she seems a bit, yeah, it seems like a touchy subject for her. She obviously has some kind of connection to it. Don't worry, Ilya, I'm on your side. What? That's how it works. It's gonna be Miyu, right? Yeah. Oh no, here we go again, guys. Okay. Ooh, the Fuki Bridge. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, wow. Okay, yeah, I'm glad I didn't watch the ending before this episode because I wouldn't want to see Miyu in a school uniform until this one, until it got revealed that she got transferred here. So I'm happy that we watched it now anyways. So that was a really wild episode. So first of all, obviously they're being very they're being very tropey, and it feels definitely like a parody, right? Obviously, talking about how cliche it is that there's a transfer student, and they, of course, are going to be sitting in the last seat by the window, which is the main character seat. And I mean, she's giving such heavy Homura energy, which makes me worried because it's basically identical to the conversations that Madoka and Homura had. I'm not gonna go into detail in case anyone hasn't seen Madoka Magica. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it's giving me heavy energy of that. I wonder, so I'm sure that there's obviously a lot more to Miyu, like what are the reasonings behind her knowing all of those things and being so good at those things. Something must have happened. And also, what is her reason for being so attached to the idea of the card collecting and stuff like that, right? She has some kind of like personal story or connection to that, so that's gonna be interesting to find out what that's all about. But apart from that, it was a really fun episode, you know. Yeah, so I think Luvia and Rin, the thing with them is they're just kind of like, they just rivals by nature. So it's not like even Rin said, like, Rin wasn't opposed to Luvia taking the card because she knows that as long as they together can collect all of them, it doesn't matter who gets them. But they're just kind of like rivals by heart, so that's kind of funny. And even with Miyu and Illya, it doesn't matter who collects the cards, right? As long as they get them. So they need 4 more. I do wonder, like, I'm very curious to see how this is gonna go, how this is gonna be like 4 seasons and like 2 movies or whatever long, considering that there's only 4 more cards left. Obviously, this is not an invitation for you to spoil anything. This is just me thinking out loud, right? So I wonder where this is gonna go. Obviously, they're gonna add a lot more to the story, but I wonder what exactly. I really liked the lore drops. I guess it is lore drops for this world about the Throne of Heroes, which is, as I said, one of the most debated topics, I feel like, from what I've noticed in like Fate, because it's a very dodgy subject, because some things are pretty contradictory when it comes to it. But that was an interesting thing that they talked about, like how it accesses basically the data of the hero, and then it pulls out their noble phantasm, which makes sense, right? Considering, as I said, the Throne of Heroes is supposed to be kind of like a database of all of the heroes or heroic spirits. That was really, really cool. And also them mentioning that the actual heroes didn't exist in this world. They were just myths and legends. That's interesting. That's a big distinction from the OG Fate timeline, right? Or from the other Fate timelines that we've seen so far. So that's really, really cool as well. I don't think it matters that much. Why would it matter for anything? I don't think it's gonna matter that much. I'm trying to think why would it matter, and I don't think it changes too much, but because it's not like we're gonna be going to the Age of Gods or anything like that. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna matter, but it's gonna be interesting to see like what kind of lore they build up as opposed to the Fate lore that I'm familiar with so far, right? What kind of distinction is there gonna be? We still need to find out more about Illya and her family, Kiritsugo and Airi. Like, there's so many things to still explore in this, so I'm just excited to get more lore. I love the way that Fate builds lore, and like the world building of Fate is always really fascinating. So I'm excited to get more information about all of those things, you know? So yeah, anyways, fantastic episode, and I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Peace.